Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It's Friday afternoon here in the Eastern time zone in the USA. It's time for the weekend special at K3LR. And as many of you know, I've been working on the 10-meter antennas here at K3LR. And we're getting ready for the new sunspot cycle. And everybody's obviously very excited about what the future might hold on our higher HF bands like 21 megahertz and 28 megahertz. And maybe we'll even get a little tease here this fall and winter on 10 and 15 meters. Maybe there'll be enough activity generated by the new sunspot cycle that we'll see a change, or could be better or worse, I guess. You never know. That's the great thing about propagation. We don't know everything about it. So with that being said, let's take a look at a couple of, I shot some photos here at K3LR, and I want to show you a couple of things. So we'll go with photo number one, if we can get that up. And let's see here. There we go. Now, what this is this is the driven element of the new 10-meter Yagis here at K3LR. So this is where the feed point goes. And we use our feed point connector, that's the FPC from DX Engineering, to go onto those two screws. Those are stainless screws. And in the middle is a little piece of fiberglass. That's a 1-inch gap. And of course, this is on G10 glass epoxy Garolite, which is rated for outdoor use. On the element is 0.625 outside diameter. That's 5/8 of an inch. And of course, this is 058 wall aircraft grade aluminum from DX Engineering. And then I simply just drill for the feed point connections. And these Yagis, that's a balanced element right there. And of course, coax, we're going to use 50 ohm coax, and that's unbalanced. So that's why you have to have that choke. And I've shown the feed line choke before, but we'll hook right up to this, and you can see there's 3-inch U-bolts to go around the boom. And then there's these U-bolts here for the element are actually meant for 3/4, but they work just fine for this. And I like having the elements on top of the boom for the simple reason I want that aluminum to be on the shoes or on the saddles. We have had customers that have had trouble when the elements are on the underside of the boom, and then you know, the element is actually resting against the U-bolt. So wanted to show that. Let's see here. We got IT9 India Delta Golf in here. Kilo Echo 6 Whiskey Hotel November. Kilo Golf 5 Uniform Mike India. Hello, Shannon. And Paul AB8FR says, thanks for doing the videos. And we got Mike K9 Sugar Lima. And let's see, Max. That looks like Zulu Lima 2 Mike Sugar Tango from New Zealand. And Max's son just came up not too long ago. And Papa Yankee 2 Bravo Norway from Brazil is in here as well. So let's go to photo number 2. Photo number 2. Okay. And so here, this is these are the standoff insulators for the feed point choke. So as you may recall, we're using 40 beads, number 31, on the RG213 coax, and that acts as a feed line choke. So that makes sure that radiation doesn't happen on the shield, and nor can it accept noise. And that does the balanced feed point to unbalanced coax. That makes that transition. So in effect, it's a choke balun. And so this is about 4 inches worth of standoff, and the beads simply have heat shrink tubing on them, and then they slide into the PVC. And so that's what we're seeing there. And of course, you can see the elements, and this is on the underside of the boom where the choke will be. And if you have that choke mounted up against the aluminum, that takes the common mode impedance down. The coupling of that ferrite to the aluminum boom causes the common mode impedance of the choke to be lowered. And so that's why we want to try to get it away from the boom. And let's see. Oh, we got a whole bunch of new folks in here. We got November 4 Papa India Echo from Florida. Nice to see you. And we have our friend Eric, November Mike 5 Mike, and need more Yagis on here. Kilo India 9 Alpha, and we have November 9 Juliet Alpha. There's ICOM Ray Novak and Bill N5NUK, our friend from Oklahoma City, and November 0 Oscar Radio Queen. And from Switzerland, it's Hotel Bravo 9 Fox Papa Sugar and Kilo Echo 9 Bravo Victor. And our friend from Worcester, Dave, N8 India Whiskey, Papa Yankee 1 Victor Oscar Yankee. And from England, it's 2 Echo 0 Radio Echo Echo. And let's see, we got John, Kilo Charlie 3 Oscar Kilo. And let's see, Lima X-Ray 1 Echo Radio from Luxembourg. That's pretty cool. November Alpha 2 Golf, Mike 0 Tango Delta Sierra, and Whiskey 7 Hotel United with November 4 Echo Victor Juliet. Great idea on those standoffs. DE November Charlie 1 Charlie Charlie. And from up in Canada, Alberta, we've got Victor Echo 6 Alpha Mike Radio, Kilo Golf 6 Yankee Tango Germany. Our friend from Texas, Kilo 5 Tango Golf Sierra, and Kilo Delta 4 Papa Delta Yankee. Let's go to photo number 3. Let's go to photo number 3. All right, so what I'm showing in this photo, this is one of the old 10-meter Yagis that we took down. And notice the amount of rust that is on the overhead guy truss. This is a small Philly strand, but we're now using stainless and heavy galvanized bolts for these, and to get away from that rust problem. That's a bad thing. Rust in the field of radio energy is just not good, because it can become a diode, and diodes are bad news. They will be unintentional radiators, and they can really cause a lot of havoc, especially in a single operator 2 radio station or a multi-op radio station. So you want to make sure that you don't have rust. And next photo. Let's go to photo number 4. And so here is a photo of the old M squared 10-meter Yagi, and you can see where the driven element is right where that insulator is. And so that's the driven element, and this is known as a beta match. There are 2 arms that come back and then attach to the boom, and the feed point impedance of this antenna is underneath 25 ohms. I think it's about 22 or 23 ohms, and that beta match is what actually is responsible for matching it to 50 ohms. Where with the OWA design that we use now, it's just getting that first director close. We can drive the feed point impedance to 50 ohms. So you can see the beta match has more mechanical connections, and that can actually be a problem. The more connections you have, the more you can have loose hardware. So that's you know, that's something to consider. The simplicity of the OWA makes it really good. Let's go to photo number 5. And there's a little bit better shot of that beta match that's used on the M² 10-meter beam. These antennas were up for a long time, and they worked very well. There was absolutely nothing more than I wanted to get OWAs in there because I wanted that wide bandwidth of VSWR performance, and I wanted to have a much simpler feed system. So that was the reason for taking them down. And so let's see who else we have on here today. And Jim says, can I consider this a 50-person QSO world record? Whiskey 6 Sugar Charlie, nice to have you on with us, Jim. And India Whiskey 9 Echo Tango is on from Italy as well. So lots of great DX on here today. And speaking of light reading, how about this? Look at that. This is 1,600 pages of antenna information. Now, I've gone through and read a couple of different things in this book, but what a reference. This is the Rothamel's antenna book from Germany, and they have put it into English, and it is just chock full of antenna designs and some theory, but it is great. And of course, it's available at DX Engineering. In fact, it's on the rotating banner right now. And so it's very easy to find this. A great antenna book. If you're looking for something for summer reading, this is just a phenomenal book. And I first saw it when it was only printed in German. And I went up to them and I said, geez, is there any chance? And at that time, they didn't have any plans to do it. But then a few years later, here it is in English. So what a great book. Just super. Anything you want to know about antennas is in that book. It's really, really good. So tomorrow at noon Eastern time is the Ohio QSO Party. And also this weekend coming up is the Hawaii State QSO Party. So Hawaii and Ohio, there's going to be tons of activity in Ohio tomorrow, and lots of people outside the state of Ohio looking for Ohio stations. So there's lots of counties. There's going to be some mobiles driving around, and I expect there to be a really, really good activity tomorrow in the Ohio QSO Party. Starts at noon and ends at midnight. So it's just a 12-hour event, but really, really good. And the weather's supposed to be pretty good. Might be a little bit of rain in there in the afternoon, but should be pretty good. And so let's see, who else do we have on here? We've got Steve from Edmond, Oklahoma. I used to live in Edmond. November 5 Zulu Queen. Nice to have you on, Steve. And Kilo Alpha 5 Whiskey. And our friend Scotty Meyer, KG9Z. Scotty is one of our new sales persons at DX Engineering. Just came on board here a few weeks ago, and he says he's working. Oh, what a job to have, to be answering the phones from all our great customers here at DX Engineering. And Scotty, thanks to you and all the members of our sales team for everything you do to make DX Engineering really special. Scotty's got big time DXCC awards. He knows how to get around a radio, and he's available to answer your questions on the DX Engineering phones or on our emails. Also, Hotel Zulu 1 Bravo Whiskey from Saudi Arabia is in the chat room. And Kilo Echo 8 Charlie Victor Alpha. And we must have an opening over to the Gulf there. It's 9 Kilo 2 November Oscar from Kuwait is in the chat room. And our friend Rick, aloha. And David Scott says, why do you still use U-bolts instead of plastic saddle clamps like OptiBeam for your elements? You know, I guess I could do that. It might even be a little less expensive. But I just got in the habit of using those small U-bolts. And I've never built a homebrew antenna with plastic saddle clamps, Dave. I'll have to try that. Actually, the 6-meter beam would have been even easier, I think, with that. But that's a great idea, and thank you very much. We've got Papa Uniform 1, Mike Papa Juliet from Brazil is in the chat room as well. So that's what I have here for this week. Next week, we're going to do more tramming. It's the last 2 10-meter Yagis will be trammed up into position. And so we will do some, maybe some live stuff even with tramming. And and that will be the end of the Yagi projects for the year here at K3LR. Once we get those 2 up next week, that'll be 12 new Yagis. We did, what, 4 on 15. We did 1 on 6. And so we have 7 that we're doing on 10 and just 2 to go. And then we'll be all done for the summer. But there's lots more antenna projects going on here at K3LR. And you're going to get to see everything that we're doing here. We're going to work on some verticals. We're going to work on the tails of the guy wires. We're going to work on some of the receiving antennas. So stay tuned. We're just getting started. So last, we got Dino Kilo Lima 0 Sierra in the chat room. Dino, nice to see you. And thanks very much for your email this week. And we got Oscar Hotel 1 Echo Oscar Radio from Finland. And our friend Pat, November 8 Victor Whiskey, says it's almost contest season. Well, if you ask the guys in Ohio, it's contest season because kicking it off with the Ohio QSO Party. So I hope to hear all of you on the air, or many of you on the air over the weekend. I'm going to be on 40 meters and 80 meters and 20 meters this weekend. And of course, on Tuesday, it'll be time for Tuesdays with Tim and Jeff. Thursday will be Yesu will be on with me on our vendor showcase on Thursday afternoon, 1830 Zulu. And then we'll be back here for the weekend special Friday next week. So 73 from DX Engineering and 73 from K3LR.